We have almost come to the end of our YLP Youth Leadership Program because we are in the 7th session. It has been a long and pleasant journey with you all young minds last 6 weeks, and I thoroughly enjoyed my journey in Youth Leadership Program 21-22 of Mangalore Toastmasters. Before I hand over the further proceedings to Student President Ananya, I would like to talk about the theme of today's session. Theme of today's session is role model. Role model are the ones to whom we look upon. Those are the person we draw an inspiration and we want to follow their advice and we want to become like them. Since childhood, there have been many role models for me. Like Mahatma Gandhi ji, I consider him a role model because of his simplicity. Then Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam for hard work and dedication, and Sachin Tendulkar for his humbleness, and Rahul Dravid for patience, and many more. I have got many more role models. As I said, one of my role models is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Do you all know what is APJ stands for? Can anyone tell APJ stands for? Advait, do you know?
Awul Fakir Jalaluddin Abdul Kalam.
Awul Fakir Jalaluddin Abdul Kalam. Great. After reading Abdul Kalam's Wings of Fire, I got inspired and I almost read most of his books. I come across one such book is called Ignited Minds. In that Ignited Mind, I come across a chapter called Give Us a Role Model. This chapter begins with a quote of Mahatma Gandhi ji, and it has attracted me like anything, and it has changed my course of thinking as well throughout my life. That particular one quote of Gandhi ji has changed my life, everything. It was like a Hausa moment. I would like to share that particular quote of Mahatma Gandhi ji. It says, men often become what they believe themselves to be. Men often become what they believe themselves to be. If I believe I cannot do something, it makes me incapable of doing it. But when I believe I can, but when I believe I can, then I acquire the ability to do it, even if I did not have it in the beginning. This particular one line, I repeat once again. When I believe I can, then I acquire the ability to do it, even if I did not have it in the beginning. This one's last sentence has made a lot of changes in me. Whenever I was held up with some problem, and there was a difficulties in studies, I was depressed. All that time, this particular one quote has motivated me, and I was able to achieve all my targets. This is quote like something like all know that in Sanskrit there is one saying Aham Brahmasmi. That means Brahma means creator. Aham means me. I am the creator. So everything is inside us. When we believe that we can do it, then we will be able to achieve those things with that belief. And I would like to stress all you young minds to believe that you can do everything if you believe it. So you can transform can I to I can. You can transform can I to I can. With these thoughts, and Dr. Abdul Kalam said, for a child, the initial role model would be their father, their mother, and teacher. Here we have a student president, Ananya, whose role models are their parents and along with Michelle Obama. Over to student president Ananya.
Thank you, sir. Today I will welcome you to the seventh session of YLP. I am Ananya and I will be the president for this session. I acknowledge the presence of today's resource person, TM Pratibha Kamath, coordinator of YLP Toastmaster Chandrasekhar, assistant coordinator Toastmaster Sulita Pai, and all the esteemed members of Mangalore Toastmaster Club and my fellow friends. Just getting started generates an energy and excitement that helps you to push forward. So I request Neil Basu to lead us into prayer.
Thank you, Ananya. Oh Lord, lead me from the unreal to the real. Lead me from the darkness to the light. Lead me from death to immortal life. Lead me from the darkness to the light. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Oh Lord, lead me from the unreal to the real. Oh Lord, lead me from the darkness to the light. Oh Lord, lead me from death to immortal life. Oh Lord, lead me from the darkness to the light. Oh Lord, lead me from the darkness to the light. Oh Lord, lead me from the darkness to the light. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. Attention is vitality. It connects you with others. It makes you eager to learn more. So I request everyone to follow two ground rules. Keep your mobile phone on silent mode or keep it switched off. Keep your video on throughout the meeting. Today, it is my pleasure to introduce our MC for the day, Advait. He studies in 6th standard in STM school and his hobbies are drawing and learning about foreign currency, and he wants to become an IAS officer. Over to you, Advait.
Thank you, Ananya. I also thank me who led us in prayer today. A day without prayer is a day without blessings, and a life without prayer is a life without power. It is my gratification to present today's MC. Let me briefly explain the agenda of today's session, and after that, we'll go for the theme of the day. The Toastmaster meeting is divided into 4 sessions: the prepared speech or the icebreaker speech, second, the educative session, third, the table topic session, and finally, the evaluation session. There will be also a grammarian and a timer to keep track of the vocabulary and the time limit for each speaker, which will make the session complete. Each session will be having a theme. Someone another person admires and tries to be like. From this sentence, I feel you guys understood that what theme I have selected for today's session. It is nothing other than role model. A role model is someone others look to as a good example. A role model is someone who inspires others to imitate his or her good behavior. As we continue, we can enjoy this session with more interesting actuality about the role model. First of all, I would like to introduce you to the grammarian of today's session, YL1 Esther. Esther is a student of grade 6 in St. Aloysius Gonzaga School. Her native place is Mangalore. She likes to play basketball and do dance, which is her hobbies too. She loves to eat ice cream from Papa's, which is also my favorite ice cream parlor. Over to you, Esther.
Thank you, Advait. So, the word of the day is yosa, which means used to express approval, excitement, or enthusiasm. For example, yosa, that was some exciting basketball weekend. The way we pronounce it in India is yosa. Phrase of the day: I've got to shoot off. We use this expression to say you have to leave immediately. For example, I can feel the tremors. There's gonna be an earthquake. I've got to shoot off. Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. There are some characteristics that I have noticed among leaders that make them responsible and effective leaders. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is my role model who demonstrates all these characteristics. He was India's 11th president who led the India better during this period. Without any time delay, let us move to our first session, that is, educative session, which will be conducted by Pratibha ma'am. Pratibha ma'am grew up in Mumbai. She did her school and post-graduation in Mumbai. She has done Master of Science, PGDDN in Nutrition and Dietetics. After her marriage, she is settled in Bangalore and worked as nutrition counselor and lecturer in food nutrition and dietetics for many years. Being Toastmaster for more than 3 years, she loves reading, traveling, gardening, and interacting with young students. She will be educating us on the topic voice and vocabulary. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Advait. Yoza, I was very impressed by the first 3 little Toastmasters I heard today. Ananya, you were great. Neil, your prayer was very, very thought-provoking. And Advait.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
once can I ask sir something?
Yeah, please, sir.
So, sir, should I start the timing?
No, after some time. Yeah, you can start. You can start. Yeah.
I can start now.
Yeah. No issues.
Yeah, you can start. I think she's trying to time my session, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. Thank you, whoever the timer. I think it is, who's the timer today?
Rian. Yeah, Rian.
Rian. So Rian, thank you for telling me that my time has started, because I always overshoot the time, and I'm not going to do that today. So
You're welcome, ma'am.
yeah, so I'll start. Can I begin, Rian?
Yes, sir, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So I got a wonderful word for the day today, yauza. I'm going to use it throughout the day today. And I'm very impressed by Ananya, Neil, and Advait, and now Rian, from whom we have a lot to learn too. And I'm not going to shoot off anywhere till the end of this Toastmasters session or a YLP session, because I have some little tips that I'm going to give you about voice and vocabulary, and how voice and vocabulary can give you, can make you a better speaker. I think I'm somebody sharing the screen, is it? Rian, can you stop sharing the screen?
Yeah, Rian, please stop sharing.
Yeah, because I can't see the beautiful faces of all the wonderful children here. Yeah. So good morning, everybody. And I understand that we are coming to almost the end of the YLP sessions. That means that you all have had wonderful sessions on how to be a good public speaker. So today, my session is going to be about voice and vocabulary. I would like this session to be an interactive session, in the sense that I would like all of you all to keep your videos on as much as possible so that I can see you. I'll be asking you questions and we'll be interacting, so that it won't be in the form of a lecture, but it will be in the form of an interactive session. The notes about all the voice and vocabulary will be given in the form of a PDF, which I will share with the coordinator Chandrasekhar, Toastmaster Chandru, who will later share it with you. Okay. Is that clear, everybody? Can anybody unmute? Advait, am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Now, coming to the first, a wise man once said that the most beautiful instrument in nature is the human voice, right? So today I'm going to tell you, or I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can improve your voice so as to impress the audience or to speak whenever you're asked to be spoken to. Now, all of us, when we watch a TV or when we see anybody, do you think you're impressed by somebody's voice? Can you unmute yourself and say that whose voice of a celebrity or maybe any person that impresses you? Can anybody unmute and tell? A voice that comes to your mind immediately when I say somebody has a good voice. Yes, anybody? Advait, can you tell me?
Sir, I don't know that red card has come, sir. It's come on my
You just
screen.
stop. You just don't use that timer card. You just put it off. You just use your watch to time it. Just 25 minutes. Just remind. That's all.
Rian, I would just advise you. Sometimes these technical glitches happen. You do one thing. Just look in your wristwatch or your clock, and after 20 minutes, you just unmute yourself and say, "Pratibha, ma'am, the time is over." That would be very fine by me. Is that okay, Rian?
Okay.
Yeah. So just
I'll do that.
forget about the screen sharing, and you just after 20 minutes, or when there is just few minutes left for 20 minutes, just tell me, and I will try to wind up my session.
Yes, sir, ma'am. I'll do that.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Because that thing is a little disturbing when you talk. Yeah, thank you, Rian. So, have you all watched Kaun Banega Crorepati? Do you all watch it?
Yes.
Yeah. So, whose voice is it that you wait to listen to when the thing starts, when the program starts? One person's voice is very impressive, and who's that?
Amitabh Bachchan.
Yes. And Amitabh Bachchan has such a nice baritone and wonderful voice that every advertiser wants to take him as a brand ambassador. Why? Because his voice evokes that feeling in the audience. You feel like listening to him. He has a rich, king-like voice. Now, all of us cannot be Amitabh Bachchan for sure, nor all of us can be Lata Mangeshkar, nor all of us can be, but we can try and cultivate, and we can try and develop a voice which will impress our audience. Now, I heard today Ananya speak. I felt, Ananya, you were very clear and your voice was loud enough for us to hear. Then I heard Advait speak. He speaks a little faster, which is also very good. And he too has a very clear voice. Then I heard Neil say the prayer. He too has a very good voice. But they all have distinct voices. What is the meaning of distinct? Can anybody tell me? Adarsh, can you please unmute and tell me?
Different voices.
Yes. So all of us have a different voice, and that is the beauty of nature. We all have been gifted with one unique voice which nobody else has. That is why I would, whenever we switch on the audio, we can see your faces. But whenever you speak, I can hear your voices. And from the voices, you can make out many things. So use that powerful tool of your voice to enhance your speech. Now, how will you do that? In Toastmasters, we have sessions where we develop our voice to enhance our speech. Now, in the past few sessions, can Peter unmute and tell me what all you have learned to enhance your public speaking ability? What are the sessions that you have had in YLP? Peter, can you unmute yourself? Are you listening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's to speak clearly, to be able to throw your voice and to reach your audience.
Yeah, but like today's session is on voice and vocabulary. So what other sessions you all have had in the past? Can you just, a couple of them, can you just remember? I think listening skills was done some time back, right? How to be a good listener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody
Um,
else can, anybody else?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I can say, ma'am.
Yes, yes, please unmute, Hazik.
Yes, ma'am. I'm unmuted.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I can hear. What was
we
the
had
session?
our previous session was about gestures.
Very good. Gestures, yes. Any other session? Adarsh, do you know any session which you remember?
Ma'am, we had a session about table topics,
Table topics.
like how
Okay.
to speak on spot.
Impromptu speaking when you're
Yes,
called to
ma'am.
speak without prep. Very good.
We had a
Um, yes,
speech
Andrea.
about like how to organize a speech.
Very good, Andrea. How to organize a speech. Then Ananya, can you tell me any other session you remember? Yes.
Just
Okay.
give me a minute, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. So till Ananya tells us, the reason why I'm asking you all this is so that I can hear your beautiful voices. Only when a question is thrown at you, you will answer that. And I think each one's voice is very distinct, different, and it is a pleasure to see so many voices on the YLP today. Ananya, have you unmuted?
Yes, ma'am. It was the last one was about body language and how we present ourselves when we are speaking or when we are listening.
Very good. Thank you, Ananya. So I want you all to get an idea about this, that to be a good speaker, there are many ingredients which are required. For example, when you make a good bhel puri, or let's say when you make a good vegetable pulao, or when you make a good chicken curry, every single ingredient and the method of cooking, everything is important. Right from the very common salt to the type of rice you use, to the spices, to the balance of the spices, to everything. So just like when you use everything in good proportions and the recipe comes out well and you get a very good tasty dish, so too, when you give a speech, when you're called to talk, when you are told to talk in public, all these ingredients which you have learned in the past few sessions have to be cultivated. You have to put your attention on that, and then you will come up with you will become a better speaker or a better public speaker. So today's ingredients, which what I'm going to tell, which is also of vital importance when you're a public speaker, is voice and vocabulary. I'll come to vocabulary later. Regarding the voice, the first important thing you should learn when you are a public speaker is the volume of the voice. Your voice should not be too loud, or it should not be too slow or too low. When you're too low, you try and strain your ears and you lose interest. Have you heard, do you all watch Republic TV, any of you all? And hear the Arnab, who's the newsmaker, who reads out the news, speak? Can anybody
Yes.
unmute? Yeah,
Yes,
how is
I have.
he? Yes, is he
He's
loud or
loud.
is yeah?
He's
Is
very
he loud
loud.
or is he very loud?
Very loud.
Is he shouting?
Yes.
He's shouting, yeah. So whenever, do you think that is pleasant, Hazik, that to talk so loudly and shout so loudly? Is it pleasant?
No.
No, it is not. And when you talk very softly too, it is not pleasant. So the first thing you have to learn when you are when you want to concentrate on your this is to have a good volume in your. The voice should have a good volume. It should not be too high, too low. And it depends upon the audience that you are in. For example, now we are a virtual audience and we are on a mic. So we need not shout loudly. But when you're speaking in a big class and the audience is far away, you may have to raise your voice if there is no mic. So please adapt your voice according to the audience that there is. The next is the pitch. The pitch of the voice has to be right. What do you mean by pitch? Can somebody unmute, like Adarsh? Can you please tell me when you sing a
Tone of the voice.
yes, the pitch of the voice is the tone, is one of the qualities of the pitch is the tone. So when you are singing a happy birthday song, let's say for a group of, you won't sing like this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Adarsh. But when you say happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, you understood the difference in the pitch that I'm showing you. So whenever you should use the appropriate or the apt pitch of the voice in order to make an impression. For example, today Neil told us the prayer. The prayer was done in a nice, somber voice. That means it is appropriate for a prayer where you have to lower your voice and you have to, the pitch of the prayer should be in tune with the prayer. Similarly, if you are giving an excited speech, like how you say, yours, the word of the day today, you have to say it with little enthusiasm and the pitch should be raised. Only then will it make an impact. Okay. The next is the rate at which you're speaking. The rate at which you're speaking is the speed at which you're speaking. Now, even in this whole YLP, I can see 21 participants, all of us have different rate at which we speak. I must admit myself that I speak a little fast, and coming to Toastmasters, I've tried to contain the speed at which I speak so that it is understandable to everybody. Today's MC, that is Advait, I saw. I think he too speaks like me. So I follow Advait very well, but I'm sure in your evaluation, if you come, somebody may say, Advait, speak a little slowly so that the audience can understand every word that you say. So when we speak, the rate at which we speak is also important. The ideal thing is around 125 words per minute is considered to be an ideal rate at which you speak so that the audience can understand you properly. Now, how do you understand what is the rate at which you speak? I can give a small tip. All of you can take your phone, not now, when the session ends. You can go to a quiet room, turn on the video and record a 1 minute speech, okay? And in that 1 minute speech, let's say the topic of the speech is my experience about YLP. So my experience about YLP, a 1 minute speech, you should record it, a video recording of yourself, and then play it again when it gets over. So when you look at yourself in a recording, you will understand whether you were fast, slow, what mistakes you made, whether your voice was loud, clear, the volume of your voice, the pitch of your voice. So the best way to know what good speaker you are is, one is by evaluation, which the YLP session gives you. Second is self-evaluation. Self-evaluation can be done by doing this video recording. Okay. So I want all of you all, if you have a pen and a paper, to note down that this is the homework I'm going to give you. A 1 minute recording, video recording on the topic. Please write it down. A 1 minute video recording on the topic, my experience of YLP. My experience of YLP. Okay. So when you do this recording, please keep in mind all the factors which you have learned in the past sessions, whether it is how to speak effectively, how to use your body language, how to use gestures, how to use your voice, tone, pitch, everything. And in that 1 minute recording, you can maximum go to 1.5 minutes. Okay, so not more than 1.5 minutes. Minimum is 1 minute, maximum is 1.5 minutes. That video recording should be sent to coordinator Toastmaster Chandru. So if everybody has understood what they are supposed to give me a thumbs up, please. Please give me a thumbs up, all of you, on the reaction button. Yes. I can see Advait, Sparsha, Rian, Grammarian, Esther, Hazik, Twisha, Natrajan, Ananya, Peter. So I want all of you all to record a video recording of 1 to 1.5 minutes on the topic, how was my experience of YLP, and send it to Toastmaster Chandru. Okay. And there, please concentrate on your voice, tone, clear, pitch, everything. Okay. And the last is the quality of the voice. What do you mean by quality of the voice? So when you see that recording, you will understand yourself whether you have a gruff voice or a rough voice, or the voice has to be smooth. So how can you improve the quality of your voice? Just like a singer improves the quality of the voice by constant practice, you too can do it if there is some correction that needs to be done. Usually what we say is, in order to get a good quality of voice before a speak, you must keep a bottle of water ready. Take a few sips of water, clear your voice, your throat, keep yourself in a relaxed mode, speak a few words without this mic, set your tone. And do you remember, we always ask, is my audio clear? Is my video clear? It is sort of, you are tuning your voice so that it can be used later. Just like a musician tunes his musical instrument before presenting a musical recital, whether it's the sitar or the guitar or the piano, they first check the quality of their instrument. So similarly, the voice can be improved by concentrating on by being in a relaxed mode, by hearing yourself when you speak so that later on you can correct yourself. So these are the 4 things you have to concentrate on when you talk about voice. One is the volume. It has to be right, not high, not too low. The pitch, it has to be apt for whichever occasion that you're using it for, because by using the right pitch, you can make a great difference to your speech. The rate at which you talk, it should not be too slow so that people feel bored and go to sleep. I hope I have not put to sleep. There are some videos which are off and I'm feeling very scared. I've put some people to sleep because I have no idea whether they are sleeping. I can see Hazik smiling. So at least I've got one person's attention. Rian is smiling. Twisha is not smiling. I think she's not. Yeah, she's paying attention to me. So, so what I mean is the rate of my talking should be such that it's not like a droning thing which goes on and on. I put you to sleep. It should be interesting. And then quality of the voice. So this is about the voice. Now we come to the next part of the speech, which you have to concentrate on to be an effective public speaker. That is the vocabulary. Can anybody unmute and tell me what do they mean by vocabulary? Somebody who has not spoken. Tanusha Mali, I can see your name there, but not the video. Tanusha, can you tell me what, when I say vocabulary, any rough explanation or any explanation you can give me? What do you mean by vocabulary? There is Tanusha. Can you unmute yourself, Tanusha? Unmute, yes. Unmute, Tanusha. You're muted.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. So vocabulary basically means to have a very good idea of words. So whenever you're giving a speech, you have a lot of words to choose from. So your speech has an improvement.
Thank you. That's very good explanation, Tanusha. She used the words. So vocabulary has got to do with lot of words. Arav, can you unmute yourself and tell me what is your sense of vocabulary? When I say vocabulary, what comes to your mind when I say vocabulary?
Grammar, then the choice of words.
Grammar.
Choice of words. Okay. Advait. Thank you, Arav. Advait,
The pronoun.
I want to ask you that whenever anybody speaks, do you understand when anybody uses a good vocabulary, whereas anybody uses an ordinary vocabulary, or when anybody uses a bad vocabulary? Can you, does it register to you when you listen to somebody?
For me, I think the ordinary vocabulary. Not the good, because I can't understand that properly.
Yes. So Adarsh told that an ordinary vocabulary is more understandable. So that is what I want to tell you here. Vocabulary means the sum total of all the words that you know till now. And when you are a public speaker, usually people try and use high words so as to impress the audience. But herein lies the catch. You must use vocabulary depending on the audience with whom you're presenting your speech or your whatever it is. So that the first important thing is comprehension. I think you all had done a session on comprehension too. It is very important to understand, the audience should understand what you're speaking. It is not very important to use very high words, which will go over the top of, like a googly, over the top of the heads of the audience. But nevertheless, when you are giving a prepared speech or when you're taking part in a contest, you will be judged for your vocabulary too. And it is always good that we must try and increase our vocabulary as we try to learn the language. Because if you know more words, definitely you will be able to use it more. Now, I want to ask Esther, which is the language you are most fluent in, Esther? Esther, the grammarian of today, which is the language you are most fluent in, which comes very easily to you, like you are very proficient or very fluent in which language, the first language?
English.
Okay. Sparsha, which is the language which you are very fluent in?
English.
English. And Kiran, Emilda, Kiran, can you unmute and tell which language do you think you can speak?
Yeah, ma'am. My name is Prince, ma'am.
Pardon?
My name is Prince, ma'am.
Prince.
Prince.
Okay, yeah, Prince. Sorry, Prince. Which language are you very proficient or very fluent in? And
It's English, ma'am.
English. Okay. So I just wanted to tell, and Sparsha, what is your mother tongue actually? Your mother tongue, Sparsha?
Tulu.
Tulu. And Esther, what is your mother tongue? Esther?
Konkani.
Konkani. And Prince, your mother tongue?
Ma'am, Konkani, ma'am.
Konkani, yeah. So what I wanted to tell you is most of us in India have a couple of languages which we are very fluent in. But all these three children said that they are very fluent in English. Now, why do you think, in spite of their mother tongue being Tulu, Konkani or anything, they are fluent in English? Because I'm sure all of these three were in English medium schools, right? You all have been studying in an English medium school, yes? Yes. And you read a lot of English books, am I right? Yes. And you listen to a lot of English around you, your friends and you all converse in English, right? Right. And that is why you are very proficient or very fluent in that language. Whereas the mother tongue, the language which you are actually born into, you hardly read any books in Tulu, nor do you read any books in Konkani, nor do you converse too much in when you meet outsiders in that language. So what I want to drive home the point is, whichever language you want your vocabulary to be good in, you must try and listen to that language, speak that language, read in that language, and write that language. When you do that, the vocabulary in that language automatically becomes better. You learn new words, you become more fluent in your vocabulary, in your speech, and that is how you improve the vocabulary. You read in that language. So in today's session, I just want to do a small exercise. So I will just go through this again. 1 minute, I'll just tell you this. So whenever you talk about vocabulary, you must remember that if you want the vocabulary to improve, you must listen to more of that language. For example, if you want your English vocabulary to improve, you must watch programs in English. You must listen to speeches on YouTube, which are in English. So the more you listen and the more you surround yourself with that language, the vocabulary or the words and the way you use the words, the way you use the sentences, the grammar of everything improves. The next is speaking. The more you speak in that language, your vocabulary increases. For example, one of the reasons for you all to join YLP is so that you improve your speaking skills, right? And do you think in this past few sessions, it has improved a bit? Can Prince unmute and tell me from the beginning of the session till now, Prince, do you think you have improved a wee bit?
Yes, ma'am. I have improved a little, ma'am.
You have improved a little. And thank you, Prince. That will come to, the effect will not be immediate. You keep joining such sessions, you keep attending such workshops, and slowly you will understand that your vocabulary has improved. Then you come to reading. I cannot stress less that the more you read, the more your vocabulary will increase. Because once you read somewhere any sentence or a good word, it will remain in your subconscious, and the next time when you read or write or speak, that word will automatically come into your vocabulary. I have been told, I have been a Toastmaster, and many people tell me that your vocabulary is good, very good, Pratibha. But actually, I'm a science person. I've done my BSc and I've hardly done any English language classes or anything. But I do read a lot. So what happens when I read a lot, it subconsciously comes into my psyche, and when I speak, the words come out. So I would advise all of you all to read some little amount every week. Keep aside a few hours for reading. However much busy you are in your activities, try to read one book in a month on an interesting topic. Most of the authors in English write very good language, and automatically your skill will improve, your vocabulary will improve. So keep a aim to read one book a month at least. How many of you all here have a reading habit? Can you give me a thumbs up who read a lot? I can see Esther, I can see Advait, Twisha, yes, Ananya, very good. Arav.
Even I read a lot of storybooks.
Yes, very good. Yes. So I can see that there are some bibliophiles here who are very good. I'm very happy to know. Yes, Esther, I can see you. Yes. So when you read a lot, definitely when you speak, it makes a difference, because all the vocabulary and the language which you have, when you read, stays in your subconscious, and you become a better speaker and a better writer too. And the last is writing. When you have been told to write your icebreaker speeches and all that. So when you write too, you will search for good words. Have you all ever Googled for a good word? Please put a thumbs up. If you all want a good word, you all have Googled. Yes, grammarian Esther. Yes, Rianne. Yes. So now we have Google at our fingertips. So it's very easy. If you want a good word to be used, you can immediately Google and you'll get a good word. And we didn't have this facility when we were young. So the internet has made things much easier for you. So whenever you write a good speech, for example, when I told, give that 1 to 1.5 minute speech on my experience in YLP, try to use not very high words, but at least better words. Now, what do I mean by better words? I'll just give you a small example here. Whenever we see a small baby, we say that baby is very cute. Can anybody give me an alternate word for very cute? Twisha?
Adorable.
Adorable.
Excellent. Yes. So when you're meeting a baby, you say, don't say you're very, very adorable. You say you're very cute. But when you're giving a speech or when you're writing something, if you use the word adorable instead of very cute, it makes a small difference. Okay. It makes your speech a little finer. Like if I say the train was very slow, it took ages to come to the station. Can you use a word instead of very slow? Arav, can you, or anybody who can say the train was very slow? Can you use a little more fancier word than very slow?
Speedy.
Yes, Advait?
Speedy.
I didn't get you. Say a little louder.
Speedy.
Can you spell it? I didn't hear still.
SPAADY.
Steady, steady. STADY doesn't mean very slow. Steady means slow and steady. Yeah, slow and steady, you can use it there. But yes, Twisha, can you say any other word for
Instead of very slow, you could use incredibly slow.
Yes, correct. You can say incredibly slow. You can say sluggish. Have you heard the word sluggish? Anybody has used the word SLUGGISH? Sluggish?
Yes.
You have heard it. How many of you have heard it? Sluggish.
I have heard it.
Yes, heard it. So you know it, but you don't usually use it in an ordinary language, ordinary day speaking. But when you're writing, you can put in the Google another word for very slow, and you will get something called sluggish. And then you see whether you can write it in your speech. So everywhere, don't use the big words. Then people will make fun of you like they make fun of Shashi Tharoor. Have you seen Shashi Tharoor? People say that he uses all these high-fi words and most of them go above the head and he's made fun of. So somewhere where you can make us in the beginning of the speech, at the end of the speech, some words you can take and use a little better word which are not ordinarily used. That way the vocabulary of the speech looks better. Okay. For example, I'll say, today I was very excited to meet all the YLP students. I can also say I was very thrilled to meet everybody. So instead of saying very excited, I can say thrilled, right? That makes a little impact. And I can say that Toastmaster Chandru is wearing a very clean shirt today. I can use the word, he's wearing a spotless white shirt today. You know, so instead of saying very clean or very this, I can say spotless. So these are small ways in which you can improve your whatever you have written. For example, if you have written an essay, or if you're writing a nice birthday wish on a birthday card for a friend, you always say very happy, have a nice day. You can use some very good words. Okay. Like today, the grammarian gave us the word yoza. Okay. So I want all of you to use that word today in your daily day till night. So if somebody says, what is that word? Then you very proudly say, you know, I'm a Toastmaster. I've used that word. Yoza means, it means excited. Yoza, that was a great dish you prepared, mummy. You can say that. Okay. So once you use it, I'm sure it will register in your mind, and some other day you will use it again. Okay. So that is how one more word has been added to your vocabulary. So this is the way, by listening, by speaking, by reading, and by writing, you slowly increase your vocabulary. And one fine day when you speak, automatically they say, wow, Twisha speaks very well, right? Because Twisha is using some beautiful words in her speech or in a speaking. So in your mother tongue, when I say some of you have a Tulu as a mother tongue, we sometimes substitute some words in Tulu with English. Who told me her mother tongue was Tulu? I think Sparsha, right? Yeah.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
if I tell you to speak 5 sentences only in your mother tongue, I'm sure English will creep in, right, Sparsha? Will you be able to speak pure Tulu?
I don't think so.
Don't think so. Why? Because English is the language in which you're more fluent in. So the more you, why? Because you go to an English school, you listen to English, you read English books, you read, see English things. So English is more in your vocabulary or in your brain. So that is what I meant. So if you want to improve
Excuse
English
me, ma'am.
vocabulary, yes.
Ma'am, your 20 minutes is over.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Rian. I'll just take a couple of
You're
minutes.
welcome.
So the more what I meant to say is, the more, if you want to increase your vocabulary in a particular language, listen to more of that language, speak in that language, read in that language, and write in that language, and automatically it will improve. And please remember, English is not the only language in which you should improve. There are many other languages like a mother tongue or national language Hindi, or the state language Kannada. We should try and aim to be good, have a good vocabulary in all the languages as possible. Of course, English is the main language because it's the language of your education. So having said that, I just hope I have been able to put some light on 2 ingredients which are required for you to be a good public speaker. One is the voice. So you have to pay attention on the volume of the voice, the pitch of the voice, the rate at which you're speaking, and the quality of your voice. And then the next thing is vocabulary. In order to become an effective public speaker, try and use good words. I won't say high words, good words. Substitute common words which are little better word, especially when you're giving a prepared speech. And how can you increase your vocabulary? By listening, by speaking, by reading, and by writing in that particular language. So with this, I come to the end of the session on voice and vocabulary. I have prepared some notes and some examples which I want you all to go through, which will be delivered to you in the form of a PDF. Toastmaster Chandru will share it with you. And remember that exercise on 1 to 1.5 minute speech or on my experience in YLP should be sent to Toastmaster Chandru. You can use any idea, you can use any thoughts, but keep in mind all the ingredients which the Toastmasters have shared with you, so that listening to that 1.5 minute speech, we must say, wow, Twisha has spoken very well. Or we should say, Arav, oh, he's really impressed me with his thoughts. Or Adarsh has given an exciting take on what he learned in YLP. Or Esther is really uses very good language when she speaks. Or Hazik has used his voice and quality of pitch was very wonderful. So keep in mind all this. Parsha, okay, everybody, I would take your time, before the 1 week is over, please. I would like to see the videos as well, so that you can compare yourself what you were a few sessions ago and now how you have refined a little bit. Even if you take one small bit, 1 centimeter of an improvement also will make this whole effort of Toastmaster Chandru having sessions every Sunday worthwhile. So thank you, Toastmaster Chandru, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. By speaking for 20 minutes, I too have improved my public speaking skills in terms of voice, vocabulary, everything. That is why we take up these sessions. So thank you all the children, and may you have a wonderful experience in YLP. Over to you, Toastmaster. Over to you, Advait, the MC of today.
Thank you, ma'am. We
Welcome.
have learned a lot about voice and vocabulary from you.
Okay, thank you.
The benefits of a role model is you get to learn how to overcome obstacles. You get to learn the characteristics required to be successful. They act as a source of inspiration. You get to learn from their mistakes. You get to become the best version of your life. Now, without any delay, we'll head towards our next session, that is icebreaker session or the scripted speech.
Advait, can you just wait for 1 second? Can we have a group photograph with our resource person before she moves out?
Yes,
Can
I was
everyone switch on their
photograph.
videos? Yeah,
Yes,
quickly
ma'am.
switch on your videos, everyone. Give me some smiles and hearts so we can have a picture with the resource person. Yeah, I'm waiting. There are still some of you not on video. Andrea, we're waiting for you. And Tanusha, can you come online? The hearts are vanishing. Yes, Andrea, we're waiting for you. Okay, all right. All smiles, all hearts, and here we go. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Advait.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, our first speaker is Prince, 5L20, Prince. Prince is studying in grade 7 in Mount Carmel Central School. His hobbies are reading, playing badminton, and writing. His ambition is to be an electrical engineer. Prince is evaluated by IGA. Over to you, Prince. Timer, please note the time.
Prince, hello, Prince. Prince, are you there?
Sir, I'm there, sir. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, okay, great.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah. Yes. Prince, are you ready?
Sir, can the first speaker give her speech? I'll give the next, sir.
Okay, then we will have table topic session. Advait, please note, we will have table topic now.
Now we head towards our table topic session, which will be conducted by Andrea. She is studying in grade 6 at St. Aloysius Gonzaga School. Her native place is Mangalore. Her hobbies are reading books. Over to you, Andrea.
Andrea?
Sir, she's there.
Yes, she is there. Okay. Timing is 1.5, 2. Okay. Rian.
Okay. Ma'am, sir, if it is green card, I should share the screen, right?
1 minute. Yeah, 1 minute. Then you stop screen sharing. Then 1.5, 2.
Okay.
Andrea?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Keep it short, your introduction.
So should I share now?
Yeah.
Andrea. Hello.
She is screening screen. Yeah, Rian.
Sir, I once tell her to like once stop sharing the screen. My timing I can't. 1 minute. I'll use my mobile.
Andrea. Andrea, can you listen me? Can you hear me?